Hello, everyone. This is Liz. Happy Thursday. So if you saw in the description, I'm doing Amazon Prime recommendations. So starting this week, since I'm going to be doing in-library recommendations on Wednesday, Prime Day and Hulu Day are going to switch off. So next week on Thursdays, I'm going to be talking about what's on Hulu. And, today I will talk about what's on Prime. It's also probably for the best because um, Hulu doesn't get things added as much as Prime and Netflix do, and Netflix just is always consistently having stuff. I think they have the most stuff there, although, as I've said before, Prime is my favorite for just all the weird stuff they have that nobody else wants, and except me. But again, something like City of the Living Dead, I'm not sure it's of the taste of the DPL staff. Although, if you do like late 70s, early 80s Italian horror, come talk to me. Or, email the library. I can help recommend things. So today we're going to talk about what's on Prime. A couple of good topical choices for what's going on right now. So yesterday I recommended as a library pick the James Baldwin documentary directed by Raoul Peck, I Am Not Your Negro. I would just want to point out that Amazon Prime has that as well. So if you'd like to host a discussion group or something, or even just watch it yourself, that is available to watch. I think it is a fantastic documentary. I kind of wish it had won Best Documentary of the Year it came out, but that was also the year it was going up against Ava DuVernay's The 13th, which is also really good, and OJ Made in America, which, I'm sorry, that's a TV show. They showed it in the theater to qualify for the Oscars, just except getting an Emmy, guys. Not that it's not a great documentary, but come on. Also, for fictional films, there's To Kill a Mockingbird, again, the great Gregory Peck film, and I think we all know the story about that, and that's always a good one for people to watch. Another great one that I discovered was on Prime is In the Heat of the Night. So when I was in high school and I really started to get into film, I started looking like what are classic movies, what are movies everyone should see, and one of the recommendations was In the Heat of the Night, and I really liked that film, and I actually rewatched it about a year or two ago, and I think it overall still holds up very well. Obviously, great Sidney Poitier performance and a good performance by Rob Steiger. I think he is an underrated actor, and he's someone where when I watch movies like from the 60s and 70s, I like seeing him show up. But yeah, I would say if you've never seen In the Heat of the Night, I would definitely watch it. And I think because we could all use a little bit of this right now, I think I should let everyone know that Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is streaming on Prime. Fred Rogers is someone that a lot of people look to as an avatar of kindness and someone that encourages us to be the best that we can be, encouraging us to be kind, to be understanding, to be empathetic. And if you have young children, or simply if you just want to revisit childhood memories, or just be inspired by his kindness, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is available to stream. And I don't know, some of us just have nostalgia for the puppets. On to, I would say, more lighter fare. I did say last week that Hulu has Rocket Man and Prime has it as well. I'm not going to go into the whole thing I went into with Rocket Man versus Bohemian Rhapsody. Long story short, the man who directed this was the man who took over and finished Bohemian Rhapsody, and I kind of wish I could have seen Dexter Fletcher's version of Bohemian Rhapsody instead of what we had. But I think this is a great, I wouldn't say great, but a very good and very fun biopic. I like the way it integrates Elton John's music. Taron Egerton is fantastic as Elton John. He looks like him. He has a lot of his mannerisms down. I kind of wish he got nominated for an Oscar. I'm kind of wondering where he was. I'm a costuming person. I thought the costumes looked great, especially if you. I grew up with a mother who loved Elton John and still does, so I was on the lookout for look accuracy, and they did his costumes justice. But I would say if you did not get to watch this in the theaters, I would. I think it's a really good biopic, and it got kind of overlooked last year. I think it's better than a lot of people thought it would be. Up next is a hidden gem called Saving Face, and this came out in 2005, directed by a woman named Alice Wu. She's an independent director, and it is about a Chinese American woman who's a lesbian. And then, this is 2004, and the Chinese community still a little bit more taboo than it is now, but she also finds out that her mother, played by the fantastic Joan Chen, and other people in her family have some secrets as well. So it's a very sweet movie about love, about identity, about accepting parts of yourself, and also where culture clash where that can come in. But I think this is a really cute little movie, and since it's Pride Month, I should have like some Pride recommendations. But I really think this is a good movie, and I'm kind of shocked that Alice Wu did not get to direct another film until 2020, this year. This was made 15 years ago. Um, on with Chinese directors, the movie 2046 is on Prime, and this is directed by the fantastic Hong Kong director Wong Kar-wai. And this is a continuation of two of his other movies, Days of Being Wild and In the Mood for Love. It does kind of stand on its own. There might be a few references that someone might not get, but I still overall think you can watch it as a single viewing. I love Wong Kar-wai, and he's a fantastic filmmaker. You always kind of feel the environments of his films. And if you haven't heard of Wong Kar-wai, or you have and you want to watch one of his movies, it's available on Prime. Also, it's a love story, but it also kind of has a little bit of a futuristic bent, so I think that's a neat element as well. Up next, in terms of something that'll definitely make you feel great and put a smile on your face, UHF. It's a movie starring Weird Al Yankovic. How can it not be a fun movie? Basically, he plays a guy, gets fired, takes over a TV studio, and it's just a lot of fun. There's definitely a lot of very 80s elements in there, i.e., sticking it to the man, or the, as I call it, the we've got to save the rec center trope, where it's like, oh no, we're going to be shut down. We need to save the station. But it's a lot of fun. Weird Al is just one of the most pure people in media. He's really nice. I actually have a friend who does 501st stuff, and actually got to meet him, and is like, he's as nice as you think he is. So if you need a smile, UHF will help you. And going on the you need a smile, Father Ted is on Prime. If you do not know what Father Ted is an Irish-British sitcom that came out in the 90s, and it is about a Catholic priest, Father Ted, who lives on this godforsaken island called Craggy Rock, and just the misadventures he and his fellow priest, Father Dougal, get into. It is one of the funniest sitcoms I've ever seen. Points if you were raised Catholic, you'll probably get some of the more in jokes, but I think just it is such a good comedy, and it's very sad the guy who played Father Ted died, I think, very soon after filming the final episode, but some of the other actors have gone on to other British TV shows, but this show is just a laugh riot. Father Jack alone gets quoted a lot in my household. And yeah, if you've never seen it, especially if you've never heard of it, discover it, because I discovered it. I had a college roommate who loved the show, and I'm like, I've never heard of this. What is this? I watch it, and I'm laughing my butt off. And that's the great thing about Prime. You can discover this stuff. And finally, I feel like I have to tell you, one of my favorite films of all time is on Amazon Prime, and that is Jonathan Demme's Silence of the Lambs. I'm actually very glad it's on streaming services now, because somehow there's still people who haven't seen that movie, which I find weird. I thought it was one that everyone had seen, but then again, my mom was like, nah, I've never watched it. Scary movie. But if you've never seen this, it is one of the greatest thrillers ever made. I would say a great American thriller. And I think in terms of new American cinema, it's one of the best films ever made. And Jonathan Demme took a story that I think could have been fairly lurid and exploitative and lowbrow, and created a masterpiece. The man knows how to direct. You have Jodie Foster giving one of the best performances of her career. I mean, I don't think she can turn in a bad performance. Anthony Hopkins, who takes 16 minutes of screen time and creates an unforgettable character. I mean, I can't say enough about how good it is. Again, it's just one of those, if you have never seen this movie, finally take a chance and watch it. And see why it is a movie that has endured and has become an American classic. Fun fact, this is probably, It was the only horror movie to sweep the Oscars ever. Horror films have won Oscars before. Don't forget, Ruth Gordon won for Rosemary's Baby. Get Out won Best Original Screenplay, which was one of the best moments of my life because I love that movie too. But this one, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Actor, and Best Adapted Screenplay. And that, especially for the Oscars, who are pretty snobby about when it comes to horror and genre films in general, is a miracle. And I think that alone should tell you how good the movie is. Oscars do not always get it right. Mostly they get it wrong or kind of right, but man, they got it right on this one. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow with Freebie Friday.